thousands still struggling to heat and light their homes. It's a month before Christmas. 40% of households on prepayment meters are yet to receive their energy bill support vouchers from the government, despite the Work and Pensions Secretary Mel Stride promising to take action on Good Morning Britain 2 weeks ago.
The most important thing, as I say, is that the government is going to be gripping this issue and doing whatever is necessary to make sure that we unblock the blockage that there is in terms of getting those vouchers out.
Well, he's back. Good morning, sir. Still nearly half of people on prepaid meters, and here we are heading up towards Christmas now, still haven't got them, still haven't got the vouchers. What's going wrong?
Well, that's not a figure that I recognise. This isn't a DWP matter, it's a business department matter, and I have liaised with the business department on this. And what I am told is that the first vouchers, which went out in October and are going out towards the end of November, have been going out. And I'm not saying that there might not be one or two that get stuck in the post, but generally that the system is working. And I know that BEIS has tasked all the energy suppliers with making multiple approaches to those who qualify for these vouchers by text and by email and by letter to explain that they are coming and how to use them and so on. And of course, if anybody doesn't receive a voucher, then they should get in touch with their energy supplier and take that up with them. And I'm sure they will then react accordingly.
The latest government data says that the figure, 40%, applies to vouchers for households on older prepay meters which have not yet been claimed.
Okay.
We are getting people getting in touch with us this morning saying they haven't received anything. Stephanie, I haven't received any of my vouchers from Scottish Gas. I've been talking to them all the time on WhatsApp. They keep telling me it's been sent. Terry says, I'm on a pay-as-you-go meter. I'm 75. I'm entitled to a voucher. I've not received a penny. I've emailed British Gas 4 times without the courtesy of a reply. If you try to call, there are normally about 1,000 people waiting in front of you. Gemma, I'm still waiting for my voucher from October. I haven't received this. I got a text from British Gas saying they're being sent. Look, we are getting lots and lots of comments like this. The trouble is that this morning you want to tell pensioners that £600 is going to be coming their way. How can they trust it is if the people who are already waiting for the £400 support haven't received it?
Well, on this point about who's received it or who hasn't, I think that there's a critical distinction to make here, which is that there are undoubtedly many people who will have received the voucher but have not actually redeemed it. And there is a statistic around that. But as I say, for anybody individual case where for some reason, whatever reason it may be, they haven't received something, they should go back to their supplier and take it up with them. And I know that BEIS, the business department, has been very vigorous in their discussions and their requirements of those energy suppliers to make sure that that happens. As to the payments that are being made today, between now and the next couple of months, about 12 million pensioners will receive a £300 addition to their winter fuel payment. So that will take them to either £500 or a £600 payment. Now, those payments are automatic. 1.6 million of those are going out today. So nobody has to apply for that. It's a seamless process because we're already paying pensioners their pensions and pensions credit and so on. So I'm very confident that the DWP, the department I run, will be very efficiently delivering those payments as it has the broader package of support. So, for example, the £650 that went out to 8 million low-income households, the £150 that went out to those that are disabled. And indeed, in addition to that, of course, the government's got the energy price guarantee to cap the average price of energy bills worth £900 to families up and down the country this year.
I have to tell you, in addition to the messages which Susanna read out, many of our correspondents this morning, our viewers, are saying that they do get in touch with their provider, or they try to, and they simply can't get through. And when they do, they get cut off, and when they get promised a call back, they don't get it. So the communication is certainly not two-way. But what I wanted to ask you was this: what about Northern Ireland? I mean, the Assembly won't meet. They're in total gridlock and deadlock over there. How are you going to get round this problem? Because no one's had a penny in Northern Ireland yet. How are you going to get round it?
Well, we do work. Government works closely with the Northern Ireland civil service over there, who effectively have had to step in the absence of politicians in a number of functions of the Northern Ireland Assembly, which, of course, is regrettable and something the government's working to sort out around the Northern Ireland protocol and so on. But there are ways of getting payments through, and that happens. And as I say, when it comes to things like pensions and benefits and so on, all of that is happening. So because there's not a Northern Ireland Executive or Assembly stood up at the moment doesn't mean that the whole processes fall apart, far from it.
But that energy support is not happening, is it?
So I don't know exactly. As I say, this isn't a DWP issue, and I'm the Secretary of State for the Department of Work and Pensions. I guess that's probably a question you need to bottom out in more detail with the business department. But my understanding is that those payments are being furthered and carried forward. But as I say, over the whole breadth of support that the government is providing right across the United Kingdom, including tens of millions of payments that my department is responsible for, those are going out on time without those recipients having to demand them or fill in forms, etc., as part of a seamless and very efficient process. OK,
I just wonder whether you can take this back to your colleagues in the relevant departments. David says, still waiting in Northern Ireland, haven't received anything from the 400 payment. Is it that we're being forgotten about because there's no government here? They tell you one thing on TV to make it look good and do nothing to help people here.
Well, as I say, Susanna, there is a huge amount that this government is doing, and I've run through some aspects of that, and there are indeed others, to make sure that we get support efficiently and effectively and quickly to those who are most vulnerable and need it the most. And
it's a lot of money, 400 quid, isn't it, Mr. Stride?
Well, indeed, and the £650 payments to 8 million low-income households, you haven't been flooded with mail about that, saying that they're not getting through, because they did go through, and they went through seamlessly without people having to even apply for them. The £300 that is going to pensioners now, along with their winter fuel payments, will go out seamlessly. That's about 12 million payments over the next 2 months. The £150 for the disabled. All of those things are going like clockwork.
All welcome, but just if you can pass on to your colleagues that in Northern Ireland, they're still waiting.
And could you also pass on a message to the Prime Minister? We are very grateful for your presence on the programme this morning. We're used to doing these interviews with the government ministers on a daily basis, and he's cut that back. He doesn't think it's necessary. Will you tell him that it is? It's called accountability, and we're very grateful for your presence this morning. But we'd like it to be a daily event, like it used to be.
Well, OK. So those are matters for number 10, but thank you for your comments.
Thank you.
Thank you for your company this morning, Mel Stride. Right, you've got a to-do list we've just sent you off with, and we really appreciate it. Thank you very much indeed. Right, let's have a look at the weather with Laura.